For the people already in my degree, they're already struggling. Got in, and you can see now. Obviously, I'm a mechanical engineering student. So what happened? So they need to look at their situation very holistically and very honestly. It may be a bit cliche, but I was like, if I can't see the change, then why not be the change you want to see?
Hello and welcome back. Today's episode 6 of Careers with Muzammil. As you know, my name is Muzammil Altaf and I invite people of all diverse careers to come talk and tell us about their experience. And today we have with us Mr. Asad Khan. Mr. Asad Khan, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself?
So, assalamu alaikum everyone. It's my pleasure to be here with Muzammil. So, my name is Asad Khan, and I'm currently a mechanical engineering student. Just finished my second year at Qatar University, and aspire to be a mechanical engineer and perhaps professor, whatever may be.
So Asad Khan, let's talk about where you are from. So you're from Pakistan?
Yeah.
Which part of Pakistan are you from?
So I'm from the province of Punjab. It's in the center. It's in Multan. It's relatively sized like where I'm situated, which is in Qatar. So I'd say it's a bit bigger than Qatar, but so I have an idea. But it's very hot, very hot.
Okay. So what about your early education? Was it there or was it here in Qatar?
So I was born and raised in Qatar. So I moved here in where I live currently. It's back in 2009, and I've had most of my schooling. I only had been to I think 2 schools. So my main school being where you all studied from, so where I studied from. So that's my main school, and then from there I went directly to university.
So what kind of goals did you set for once you were ending high school? Where did you want to go? Like how did you choose to be a mechanical engineer, or did you go somewhere else first and then you became a mechanical engineer?
So it's an interesting story. So when I was in year 11, my whole aim was that I want to get a scholarship because a family friend of mine got a scholarship, and from there on out, I was like, you know what, I really wanted to try hard. I want to get a scholarship for whatever program it may be. And in the time, I really wanted to do mechanical, but my parents told me, advised me, said, and guided me, maybe try medicine. So I put medicine as my first option at the Qatar University, and alhamdulillah, I got in. So I got in, and you can see now, obviously, I'm a mechanical engineering student. So what happened? So I did medicine for 2 years, and I had the fortunate circumstances where I was able to switch. Not many people have this option, as due to their own situation. I alhamdulillah had this chance, so I took it because I believed in myself that I would be of more value as an engineer than in medicine. I didn't see myself as a doctor maybe 4 years down the line, but I did see myself doing the same things that I'm doing today, which is teaching, critical thinking, solving problems, and applying it to real life. So that's why I went to mechanical engineering instead of medicine.
That's a very interesting take because for me, I've never known somebody who switched after 2 years of doing medicine. Usually you would switch in the first semester and then you go into doing something else. So for mechanical engineering, what kind of subjects did you need to start, or what kind of subjects did you need to start medicine?
So for medicine at Qatar University, they were very, I believe they've changed it now, but before they only needed 2 sciences and maths, and that's what I applied with. I applied with physics, chemistry, maths, no biology, and you actually don't even need biology in medicine because they teach you from the beginning, from the start. So that's not really an issue. It obviously helps if you do biology, but it doesn't mean you can't do medicine. So those were the requirements, the subjects I went with.
Okay, so now that you're inside mechanical engineering course, how has the course been so far for you? Like, what does it have? Does it have a lot of practical work? Does it have a lot of theory for now?
So the program that I'm currently enrolled in, I believe it's less hands-on approach than maybe some other universities across the world, because I believe the university I'm in is more of a research output based university. So they focus more on the theory, and for you to publicize some research, they get you involved in summer internships about research. But I'd say in terms of practical, the only thing practical you have are your term projects. So which is in maybe 4 term projects in your semester. It's a 2 semester based academic year. So that's the system we're following at Qatar University.
So what about these projects? So what do they have you do for these projects?
So I can talk about recently. My semester just finished, my spring semester, and all my subjects had term projects. Now, out of four of them, two of them, one of them wanted a physical project, like a physical product that we had to make. One of them wanted a SolidWorks model, which is a 3D model of our design for another project, and another one wanted us to do an experiment and then present our findings, and another one was just research. So you can see we covered a lot of things in just one semester. So there we had a variety of projects included, in different types.
So that's really interesting. So what do you think a person who's trying to go into mechanical engineering, what kind of characteristics does he need to have to be a successful candidate for an engineering course?
I think in any degree, in any course, the main factor is the amount of hard work you put in. So regardless of whether you want to be an engineer or medicine, as I'm sure you're a veterinarian, you obviously know that you need to put in the work and be consistent. It's the same for engineering. What I would say, there's some aspect of leniency in engineering that isn't in medicine, is that you don't need to be as consistent at all times. So in engineering, I'd say there's a period where you can just relax a bit more and focus on maybe your other projects that you're going on in your life. It's not as taxing on your mental health. It's not as taxing on your daily routine as other subjects might be.
Okay, so let's say now that you have been in the mechanical engineering for 2 years now,
Yeah.
so how long is the course and what do you see yourself doing once you graduate?
So the program is currently 4 years long in Qatar University. They have open concentrations, so they're opening more concentrations as we speak. Currently, I would like to go into the concentration of aerospace. That's what I will be choosing for my last year and my senior design projects. But what do I see myself maybe in 2-3 years down the line? I'm not so sure. But what I would ideally want for myself is a place where I can start and it's better than where I left off, in the sense that, having lived here in this lifestyle where I'm currently in Qatar, I would like to maintain a similar lifestyle wherever else I go. So for that, obviously, I need to, whenever I finish, look at things where they help me provide for my family. They make me, it's easier for me to maybe adjust more in a new workplace environment. So perhaps maybe I would not prefer a job as a technician. Maybe I'd prefer a job as maybe a lecturer, maybe a research assistant. Maybe I would prefer a job as, maybe I'm looking at intern, then they hire me as a full-time job as an engineer, not as a technician. Because as a technician, you don't really get to enhance your skills, because it's basically an industrial labor work, which I'm sure the people I know about, they don't want to be affiliated with as an engineer, because that's the role of a technician. The whole point of being an engineer is that you're doing a degree which is worth more than you being a technician. So obviously you want to be treated as such. But obviously circumstances comes and goes, and for me, if I get the chance, obviously I'll take it in a heartbeat, whether it's technician, because a job is a job. You have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
So what I ideally hope for is a job that caters to my needs.
Mm-hmm. So you said something about being a lecturer, and
Yeah.
so I know that you already run a page on YouTube where you teach students how to complete papers.
Yeah.
So why don't you talk a little bit about that?
So when I was in year 11, I believe, year 11, one of my tests I did in maths, I finished it, and I looked over to myself and I was like, so I need some help. And I looked across the room, and they all looked back at me, and they said, why do you need help? And that just made me think that, what if there are people in the class that can't help you and you need the help? Where can you look at? So I went online, looked at some resources online for YouTube, and there are a lot of resources for IGCSEs, so which was fine. But then I progressed to A levels, and the resources diminished. There weren't many videos on this. So what I did was, I was like, okay, because it may be a bit cliche, but I was like, if I can't see the change, then why not be the change you want to see? So I became that change. So what I did was, I started doing past papers. I started doing some more. I made a Discord server, which is, I think, over 4K. If you want to check it out, it's MedDude, as a Discord server and a YouTube channel. So be sure to check it out. I'm sure Muzammil will put the link. But yeah, so it is mainly catered towards A levels and GCSE students. So what I think is that my vision for that also is that I want to provide free education that maybe where the current teachers you have aren't able to provide. Maybe you understand something in a different lens when you have perhaps a student or former student explain it to you rather than a teacher who doesn't know about the new tricks and tips. So that's the page I'm doing. That's the currently what I'm doing in my free time.
That's actually really brilliant, and we wish you all the best and hope that people learn from you the way that you want them to learn from you. So, before we go, what advice would you have for the younger generations, the generation that is currently in high school, about to pursue a career in some course that they haven't chosen yet, or the people who are currently in the degree that you're in and they're about to graduate soon? What advice would you have for them?
It's a very good question. Let me think about this. So the advice I'd give to someone, so let's separate the two. So let's give advice to people who are not in degree yet. So they're younger, they're on the younger side. So the advice I'd give them is that they need to look at their situation very holistically and very honestly. Look at themselves and think to themselves that, look, where am I right now? Where do I want to be in 5 years' time? Where do I want to be in 10 years' time? Is there someone I can look up to? If there's someone I can look up to, what steps did they take? What mistakes did they do? And how can I level up from them? Because anyone who tells me that I'm their role model, I tell them, no, your role model should be the person that's better than me. So that way, when you progress, you're actually doing better than how I was doing. Because different circumstances, everyone has different circumstances. So that's for the younger people. For the people already in my degree, they're already struggling. No, I'm joking. No, but engineering is tough. But I would tell them to be very resilient. A lot of times when you come to university, I think a lot of your cutting edge, it takes decline only because you're not focused as much. So for people my age, I'd say go for a routine walk here and there, freshen up your mind, restart, but don't just slack off, because as an engineer, the market is tough, it's brutal. So what you'll have to do is keep on top of your game and do more than what's required of you, at least at this stage. Because right now we don't have any responsibilities. I'm not married, you're not married, we don't have kids, you don't have kids. We are actually living one of the blessed years of our life, where it's youth. We're in our youth.
Yes.
So I'd recommend them to obviously fully enjoy themselves, immerse themselves in reality, and take on life as it is. And yeah, that's what I tell them.
Well, that's brilliant advice, actually. So, with that being said, I think we'll end the interview here. Thank you so much for coming on here and sharing your advice and your experience being a mechanical engineer student. So, if you guys would like to ask any questions to Asad, I will leave a link to his email below and you can contact him directly. He also has that Med2 channel where he explains past papers to students, which you can also check out with the link in the description below. With that being said, thank you so much and have a good day.